1 sec. TKL's here. Indy is here. Alright. We have our Polish caster. We have our French caster. Go, go. CuKu representing his brand new team, guys, for the first time. Our boy has found a new home. Representing Team Red Pack. And he's gonna take on Ryu, who's, I think, making his debut in the Big Brain Bouts. I don't think he's ever played before. He's a good Zerg who's been around for a long time. He is Peruvian, but he's been living in Europe for the longest time, so these games are played on the European server. I think he is... I don't know if he has an Italian passport, but he's been in Europe for a while. That's all I know. Should be a fun TVC. Honestly, I don't know who the favorite is here. This is, I think, a very close one. And hopefully just as fun as our first best of 5.
Let's get it on. Round 1. Fight.
In the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of our Romanian Terran. He will now be the face of Romanian RTS, representing his new orc, Red Pack. This is our very own CuKu. He's still our boy, let's be honest. And he's gonna take on this man. It's our Peruvian Zerg who's been living in Italy for a long time. It is Ryu, representing the Cranky Ducklings. 3-2. I honestly think, guys, this could be anything. I have no idea how these two shape up against one another. I have played against both of them a lot in my life. A lot of wins, a lot of losses. I just don't know. I know that CuKu was busy with school exams for a little while, but he's been back for a solid 2-3 weeks at this point. And he's the one who said, Roddy, I'm ready again. If you want me to play, I'll play. And at first I was like, CuKu, you've played enough. But since he got a new team and he's representing an orc and he's trying to get some Romanians excited over StarCraft, I was like, okay, CuKu, let's do it then, mate. Let's play some StarCraft on the Friday night. And show us that you still have it. Isn't Red Pack a brand of tomatoes? I have no idea. I never heard of it. I did have a little meeting with the guys from Red Pack. They seem very sweet. It's obviously lovely for me that they are supporting CuKu. He was part of Team Roddy for a long time, then joined... What was the name of that org that he joined for a little while? Together with Gong Fu and whatnot, but... Then they disbanded right before WTL, so that was obviously very sad for our boy. He joined Team Roddy again for a bit, at least for the WTL qualifiers. He won. Unfortunately, BASILIsk and MaxPax did not win. Well, BASILIsk had a draw, MaxPax went 0-2. So we didn't have much of a run, and he's been looking for a new team ever since. And now he found it. Some local support out of Romania. I think they're pretty big in maybe Valorant, Counter-Strike, some of the other games. They're brand new to RTS. They know what they're getting into. They know StarCraft 2 is an old game and that we don't have the biggest scene, but they still believe there's a chance to make some good stuff happen. And they're going to run some local tournaments. They're going to run some international tournaments. It seems like they were very cool guys. And obviously, we want to support that. First, a Reaper running to the other side of the map. CuKu looking for some ambitious first blood. You don't want to lose your Reaper to Zerglings, though. Close call. Jeez Louise. CuKu gets away with it. One thing that we can always say about CuKu, guys, is that we rarely see a boring CuKu series. Because CuKu is a very aggressive kid. He loves to drop. He loves to attack. The complete opposite of a guy like Spirit, who's maybe known for turtling and sitting back. CuKu does have good late game. But that's not what he is. CuKu is not a turtler. CuKu is an aggressor, an attacker, and he wants to be in the face of the Zerg. I saw a lot of nice comments about our first best of 5. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, it takes 2 to tango. We're all very happy for Alpha 3, but Roscoe deserves love too, because he was part of that good series. When it comes to Ryu and his ZVT, I have to admit that I'm drawing a little bit of a blank. I don't know too much about it. I honestly think it's pretty straight up. Like, we'll probably play just Ling Bane into Hydra Lurker, perhaps. Don't think we're going to see too many Roach builds coming out of him. I also don't think we'll see Mudas unless we play Altitude or something. So I think it's just going to be a lot of Ling Bane. It will just be a good old dance of execution, and who's more on point, who's sharper, who's quicker. It's always fun to hop into a series when you just have no idea who is supposed to be the favorite, who's supposed to be the better player. Supply block for a couple seconds here by Ryu, but no big deal. It all looks very standard, guys. Both players just making sure nothing out of the ordinary is happening. We know that's not the case. And we're just gonna take it from here. Quick lair, so we're not gonna drop double evo before going up to a lair. It seems that Ryu just wants to get bailing speed quickly. Gonna drop the bailing nest. Do expect him to also drop 2 evolution chambers. CuKu has his first 2 barracks, is pumping out Marines. Stimpack is somewhat close to finishing up. First 2 medevacs halfway done. And that's going to be the real skill check moment of the series, where CuKu is going to be on the other side of the map. What is perhaps worth mentioning is that CuKu only made 2 Hellions. It's kind of unusual. Basically just made 2 Hellions to scout, have a bit of map presence, but did not really want to invest into it. It's just all about getting a bunch of Marines with stim out as quickly as possible. Ryu making his first few bailings. He should start up bailing speed. If we go for a quick lair, we need quick bailing speed. He does that immediately. Here we go. CuKu might see these 2 queens chilling on the low ground. Throws down a scan. We'll just go for the creep tumors though. Quick reaction by Ryu, pulling those queens back. I think Ryu has more than enough here not to be too stressed out over it. Both of them just working on their upgrades at the same time. CuKu is supply blocked. It's a slightly bigger one. Maybe call down for supply depot. If we've got some energy, CuKu. He's got no. It's a pretty big one, guys. The 85 out of 85 supply block was a pretty big one here for CuKu. It's gonna slow him down a tiny bit. The Roach Warren timing surprises me. A decent amount. I don't really understand it. 6 minutes into the game, 1-1 upgrades for melee. Bailing speed, and now we drop a Roach Warren. CuKu thought for a split second there that he is Liquid Clem. Then the Baneys got very close and he realized he's not Liquid Clem and it's better to just pick up these units. Well, so we're just gonna morph the roaches into ravages, or if we don't have roach speed, that's obviously something that Ryu needs to be aware of. I'm still not starting that. Everything was super standard in this game until the timing of the roach one. It seems like it just wants to morph all the roaches into ravages, but you still want to get the upgrade, no, isn't it? Confusing. Marines on the edge of creep, gonna snipe a couple bailings. Good target fire there by CuKu, as Ryu wasn't totally certain how he wanted to engage that. Look at CuKu, guys, sniping 6 or 7 bailings successfully. Also shows up with 2 medevacs full of bio at the bottom side of the map. Throws down a good scan, gets every single click tumor. Now unloading a few Marines at this top side base. It's gonna stim towards the bottom left. This should be a very easy cancel. I feel that Ryu has made this game very hard on himself by suddenly going for those ravages. Kind of weird. Giving up a lot of momentum, giving up a lot of map control, losing every single creep tumor. CuKu's armory is done, but he's not starting upgrades. Doing it now though. I like it a little bit more for CuKu at the moment than I like it for Ryu. Because I feel that CuKu is getting the momentum advantage. He's where he needs to be. Ryu not paying attention there, losing the hatchery. That's not just a cancel, that's a straight up kill as CuKu snipes 4 more bailings. Who is this boy representing Red Pack? He never did that as Team Roddy's CuKu. He's playing very well. Gonna unload all of the Marines at a nice little choke point too. The Zerglings having a hard time getting on top of it. Immediate pickup. CuKu is so on point here in game 1. As we do have a big fight happening in the center of the map. CuKu still picks up a couple of the Marines. Yeah, I'm actually really feeling the pace that CuKu is pushing here. I feel like he's playing clean. Maybe the 2-2 upgrades could have been a tiny bit quicker and he was supply blocked once, but besides that, it's pretty perfect play by CuKu. It is on point. Dropping in the main, picking up the units, unloading them at this 11 or 10 o'clock base. Not thinking of going back into the main, but there's a Sport Runner and Queen there. This is the first time where CuKu maybe got himself in a bit of a pickle, but actually gets out of it. Just flies through the middle of all these bases. Ryu does have a hive, that's like 30% done. We're going for Burrow. the great equalizer, guys, in this matchup. Took Reynor a couple years to get on board, but we saw Reynor at the Summer Championships. Finally a Burrow believer. Needed it desperately against Maru and desperately against Beyond, and it paid off. Right, CuKu right now is stuck a little with a whole lot of supply inside of a bunch of medevacs just floating around. We've got 8 siege tanks, guys, just chilling at home. Obviously, it would be devastating if he makes a mistake with all these tanks, because with the Marines, CuKu has played a pretty perfect game so far. The tanks have been a little inactive, but maybe there's history between these two, and Ryu has counterattacked a lot, and that's why he's playing it this safe. I'm not exactly certain, obviously. This is a terrifying army, man. There are a couple of infestors on the way. CuKu, is he going to see this army? Yes, he is. Is Ryu looking at this army? Didn't quite look like it. Tank shots are massive, and CuKu is kind of dominating Ryu here in game 1. Now maybe a fungo and a couple of great corrosive valves, but a 10-to-1 ratio in units lost. Not in resources, but in numbers. And of course a lot of that is Zerglings and whatnot. A couple of Banelings do connect with the Marines here, but it seems that CuKu got another good exchange here on the top side of the map. Baneling count now only at 15. We have a few infestors on the way, but they're not quite here yet. CuKu having his tanks crawling closer and closer. It does seem like a lot of the tanks got picked off, or just left a bunch of them somewhere. Not exactly sure. I only see 3 tanks here. The other tank's still at home. Nice fungo by Ryu as he gets a good connection. Now wants to chase up the high ground. Do you have enough? The tanks were dropping there for a split second. Actually, CuKu's own tank there, guys. Killing his final tank there with splash damage. Bit unfortunate. Ryu hanging in there. Ultras might actually come out. Maybe get some kindness plating. That went a bit better for Ryu. There's another medevac with bio units got picked off in the bottom left side. Ryu holds. Good fungo, good baning connections. Reset the tank count to some degree. And the game goes on. Let him know, Ian Blue. You let him know, mate. Why are you hating Reynor? CuKu's doing good, mate. He's doing good. Even if the build order was perhaps a bit random and the tanks were a little inactive. The medevac marine play was solid. CuKu's still an F2 addict. Okay. That didn't quite work. We have a couple of burrowed infestors coming in the back. Corrosive balls do connect with, I think, a Liberator it was. Ultra count is getting up there though, guys. We're going from 2 to 6 ultras. There are still some infestors burrowed, looking for a fungo. But yeah, off creep here, CuKu should be fine. Nice double kill on the lips though. Oh, the Ravagers are definitely pulling their weight. Seems like that wasn't too bad of an investment. Tiny Ling run by. Using Burrow as well, a couple of these Zerglings. Seems that CuKu didn't quite pick up on it. This tank, by the way, could do a lot of friendly fire. Potentially blow up. If the Lynx would on-burrow one by one, this tank would kill so many SCVs. Kinda wanna keep an eye on that. Ultras with +3 armor. We have 3 ghosts out though, so there is some snipe potential. Ultras are going to be a bit derpy. CuKu is sniping something, trying to land a few snipes. A lot of supplies still stuck in medevacs again. First fungal lands, some of the ghosts, some of the marines. The tanks are in a very good defensive spot. And even without too many ghosts, CuKu should be fine. It does need to start spending his money though. CuKu's bank is right now a little too big for his own good. Ooh, Ryu with a very unfortunate misclick. Loses a couple of ravages there. More importantly, was in danger of losing extra ultras. Very casual 7 ultras, guys, on the way. As CuKu is getting advanced ballistics and the ghost. I believe the last time we had CuKu in the Big Brain Bouts, he did play in the main event against Rotterdam. And it honestly was one hell of a series. Even though that's a very weird main event for a lot of people. That's one of the best of 5s that we've ever had in the Big Brain Bouts. I think this is the first time that CuKu has played ever since. That's, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Ryu is still gonna try, but it does feel that he is running into a bit of a meat grinder here. Off creep, you're just gonna find very little success through those depots, bonkers, tanks on the high ground. Without any spellcasters, I think that's a bit too much. CuKu has unloaded a few of the Marines and Marauders bottom left side. There are Banelings here in the mix, and the Banelings, will they save the hatch? They go for the Marines, so the Marauders are just able to do their thing, and the Marauders snipe the hatchery. So Ryu is transitioning into double Spire. Is that Neo merch? Yeah, sort of. I received it this week. I've been wearing it for a couple days though. I got like 20 shirts. It's pretty sick. It's perfect for the summer. Because I've been moaning to Basilisk that I had a lot of Basilisk jerseys, but most of them are long sleeve. I only had 2 short sleeve ones. I was like, it's too freaking hot for the long sleeve ones. And they're like, alright, we got you. Tank on the high ground is going to get some good shots up, but Ultras are proper tanky units. Ryu is going to find a few more SCVs here. The classic TVZ, guys, on Gresbon. We're 16 minutes in. And it's not quite split map, but obviously we are heading in that direction. Seems that Ryu is done with his Ravages. Like they have served their purpose. We don't see the Broodlords ultra often. Ghosts are pretty good against Broodlords. Obviously CuKu does not have a lot of Vikings or something, but I think the 8 Ghosts... I don't know, I guess it all comes down to what position the Ghost will be in. We are definitely macroing though, guys. You can send the extra. You already have a hoodie. That's a very special hoodie. Very few people have that one. I like my long sleeve shirts a lot, but not when it's this one. Liberator is not going to find anything here on the top side of the map. CuKu is just going to slow down the game a little. Wants to get a few more ghosts. Ryu has done a good job in renewing the creep tumors. He has lost 76 of them. He's pretty much always on the money to renew them immediately. We have a tiny drop in the bottom side of the map. I'm going to keep an eye on this army for now. Marines and Marauders standing forward. CuKu knows about them Broodlords. How worried is he? Here come the Ultras though. The Ultras are going to crash into a couple of tanks, but the Liberators make sure that there is justice that rains from above. And honestly, this was more expensive for Ryu than I think it was for CuKu, who also managed to sneak 4 Marines into this base at the bottom side of the map. Ryu has already lost 7.7k more than the Romanian Terran in this game. Now there are a lot of resources to still be mined, so we don't have to talk about the map being mined out or no more money being available. Something worth to keep an eye on. Could come into play 10 or 15 minutes from now. Man, these Ultras are so low on HP, I don't know if I would do this. These Ultras are so low on HP. Are we just completely done with them, or attacking with 7 Ultras that all have 100 or 200 HP left? I don't know if that would be my play. Well, Ryu apparently doesn't give a damn. He just wants to show up with 19 Broodlords. Wait. We have no adrenal glands. Again, guys. We have no adrenal glands. I know that the link count is not crazy high, but we've already lost 330 Zerglings, and there is no adrenal glands. What is it with Big Brain Bouts, ZVT, and Zerg players forgetting adrenal? Reynor, a heads up for tonight. If you end up making 1,000 links against Clem, please get adrenal glands. Don't pull a Wayne. Marines and Marauders gonna get another cancel. Broodlords are pretty serious about being aggressive. We got 13 ghosts though. 7 infestors as well. It will just come down to the spellcasting. Torque count is getting up there too. Really like it for CuKu as we have a couple of Lings and Banes crashing into Marauders. But if the Banelings don't clean it up, the Lings do not... Okay, there we go. Reynor Cleanse is on the way right now. A lot of the goals going down here. CuKu. Whoa, 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 whoa. We had 13 goals. We now only have 6 left. I sniped a couple of Broodlords there, guys, but that wasn't quite the ideal ghost positioning. CuKu might be in a bit of trouble, even though he's got 142 army supply. I don't quite see it. I guess it's kind of a little bit everywhere at once. We still have this hit squad in the bottom left side, but apparently won the fight against the Lings and Banes. This production tab looks terrifying though. If your army is mass Broodlord, and it's 4 Vikings, 4 Ghosts, and 3 or 4 Thors on the way at once. That looks pretty terrifying. Okay. CuKu with a very friendly rally there into the Queens and Corruptus. That's not quite the way to bring your units home safely. Nice fungal on Liberators and Vikings. Jeez Louise. Ryu is not making any Vipers, and that's not because Vipers wouldn't be good here, because they absolutely would be. I think he's just not confident with them. He probably feels that if his army is pure Infestor, that he's gonna do better than when he would now make Vikings and he would mess up the control. That's a nice fungal. Obviously fungal doesn't really kill stuff, but if you just kind of renew them and you do it over time, this is gonna make the difference. Ryu's bank is very small compared to CuKu's bank. It's a 9,000 units lost resource difference between the two. Oh, Liberator's good. Nah. You want to get the splash damage hits up, but then all your lips are clumped up, and then the infestors are going to kill them. Man, fungal lasts for like 2 seconds on armored units. It's crazy. I guess in my mind, I'm still... Okay, we are going for some Vipers now, by the way. No, Ryu is actually mining more. Ryu has a 5 arrow advantage, which means he's mining way more at the moment than CuKu, but... I mean, CuKu has pretty much all the upgrades he could dream of. He's got a pretty sick army. 20 ghosts. Obviously, last time CuKu derped a little bit by blowing up some of his own ghosts with the tank-friendly fire. Don't think he's doing that again. Do we have nukes? No, right? Oh, we're looking, guys. I think... Mate, there's an overseer there, CuKu. I like that CuKu threw down a scan and then thought he had a very secret mission right underneath an overseer. There's a fungal growth that does land on a couple of the goals. Another nice fungal lands on all the goals. Now the Broodlords are forced to just kind of stand their ground and fight. And that is not a fight, that the Broodlords are winning. Vipers rallied straight into their death. We do have a parasitic bomb landing, but it's a fight that wasn't much of a fight. What is this? Roddy vs Reynor in Padel? Jeez Louise. That was a one-sided affair with Ryu just running. Terran army pretty good, guys. Ryu lost 4,000 or 5,000 resources there. Fungal just doesn't really cut it against his army, eh? Fungal just does not seem to have much of an impact. Landed a lot of good fungals. Meanwhile, CuKu's Orbitor is going on an adventure in the center of the map. Ryu is now going to try to go back into Ultras one last time, but I think this army is too big, too powerful, too much HP. And don't forget about all the snipes that are still available. It's 158 army supply for CuKu. And he probably has a whole bunch at home. Ryu picking up some reinforcements. That's actually working well. It's a lot of ghosts here by themselves. Nice plays by Ryu, but I'm afraid that that's not going to be good enough here. Well, Ryu does have 122 army supply, which is more than he's had for a little while. It's not maybe the best army, but he is gonna try one last time the Hail Mary play. Can we neural? Yes, we can neural. It's gonna neural some Thors, neural some tanks. Ultras and Corruptus coming in as well. Is this the fight that Ryu was waiting for? Absolutely seems to be the case. I mean, that went very good. Way, way, way better than the previous fight. The Infestors having one hell of an impact on this one. Is that good enough? I am afraid it's not good enough. But it was very good. Okay, it's not good enough. Ryu wins the fight but loses the war. Is gonna tap out. Is done with Gresvon. GG gets called. And Rat Pack CuKu. Honestly, it has a nice ring to it. I'm not gonna lie. Takes the 1-0 lead in the best of 5. Fun first game between these two. Obviously a bit of a Gresvon special. We've all seen these games on Gresvon by now. But what I loved was the beginning, where CuKu honestly felt on point. He felt sharp. He felt precise with the Marines, the medevacs. Honestly, I think he could have used the tanks a little bit earlier, but maybe he just wanted to play it safe and make sure that we would go for the late game. And we ended up in the late game. Game 2, Dragon Skills though, completely different map. Probably going to be a slightly shorter game. This is a long big brain bout so far, guys. Then we have a main event of Reynor Clem as well. Foucault Spendelum with the 74 months. Thank you, mate. You guys can argue in the chat, that's fine, but just be a little nice to each other, okay? If you guys are nice to one another, you can argue about what's good and bad all night long. That's fine. I think it was a very good final fight by Ryu. It's not a guarantee that Infestus can have that much of an impact. Because obviously with the amount of scans that CuKu has available and all the ghosts, he should be able to land some EMPs, but... Excuse my ignorance, why was Ryu leaving after that better engagement? Just because the engagement was good, but it basically costed him pretty much everything he had. And he would never ever win a fight on the other side of the map against Liberators and tanks off creep. And now there were Liberators harassing his fine of few bases, so he just had enough of it. He just felt he's too far behind to really turn that into a game. He was obviously happy with the fight. It was just, as Mr. Bitter would say, a day late and $1 short.
Round 2, fight!
Be nice to each other. This is the internet. Yes, it is the internet, but it's also my channel. And on this channel, I make the rules. Because I rule with an iron fist. But you guys are allowed to argue with one another. That's fine. As long as you keep it nice and civilized, we're all good friends. Guys, round 2. In the top left side of Dragon Skills, we are looking at the main base of the Romanian Terran. Representing his brand new orc, Red Pack. It's CuKu. To quote the guys from his team, the face of Romanian esports now, guys. Not sure if I would have gone for CuKu's face to be the face of anything, honestly, but if they want to make that face the face of Romanian esports, who am I to hate? I'm not hating. We support it, if anything. In the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of our Peruvian Italian Zerg. Played an excellent first game, but he's down 0-1. Entering the second game, Cranky Ducklings Ryu. Poor Pikachu looks a little deflated today. Pika has been a little deflated for a while now. But as long as Pika is not completely flat on the ground, I'm keeping Pika around. Thank you to my man Foucault Pendulum, not just for 74 months of resubbing, guys, but also gifting us 5 subs. Honestly, mate, that's crazy. Thank you so much. You're a sweetheart. You don't have to be friends with everyone in the chat. I'm not forcing all of you guys to be friends or see eye to eye on everything, but just keep it a little nice. Don't be overly passive aggressive, and then we're all good. Are you implying you won't reinflate Pikachu? No, I'm gonna frame Pikachu. By the time that Pika is completely deflated and flat, we're gonna frame him. Reaper looking for a drone, gets the drone. Oh.
First blood.
According to Pro Gamers, this game is now officially over and Ryu should probably leave. No Zerg has ever won a game ever losing a drone against the Reaper. Hey, what a start for CuKu. CuKu doesn't just get the drone, guys. He also snipes the first tumor on a map with a ramp leading into the natural, so you don't even have high ground vision. That's honestly pretty sick. Ian Blue says, okay, the tumor is worse. Well, both? I don't know. I think I would rather snipe a drone. It just feels so good. I feel like your opponent is mentally defeated after you snipe a drone. Feel better losing the drone than the tumor. I mean, you are a Zerg. I don't know if any other Zergs would agree or disagree. If I was a Terran and I could choose between sniping a drone or a tumor, I think I would go for the drone. One drone that early on, that's a big boy drone. That would have snowballed for the next 6 or 7 minutes. Zerg is pretty much that. This game is over, guys. It was fun knowing y'all. Game 1 was excellent. Game 2, I don't see what Ryu could possibly do from this situation. Now, we're obviously joking. He's going to switch it up, by the way, guys. We're dropping 2 evolution chambers this time around before tacking up. A lot of what Ryu did in that previous game was very standard. Besides that Roach Warren. I thought the Roach Warren going into the Liberators was a bit odd. Never even got Roach Speed, I believe. But it's not the weirdest thing, because obviously you can snipe some tanks with Corrosive Ball. You can maybe snipe some Medevacs if they are idling AFK between bases, and you can obviously deal with Liberator. Yeah, Ryu is Peruvian. I think he was born and raised in Peru, but he's been living in Italy for quite some time. He's been around for... Lloyd knows this how long I can remember. Didn't he play for Italy in Nations League one season? Or am I making this up? I'm pretty certain he played, right? Wasn't it like Mia, Nonna, Reynor, and Ryu? Nation-wise? I believe that was the team. Oh yeah, Ryu Ryosis. Yeah. You had a Ryosis as well. Yeah, that's... I forgot about that. What happened to Ryosis? Was he Zerg too? Was it an all Zerg team? The Pokemon evolution line. Ryu, Reynor, Ryosis. Ryu did not win the previous round, just TWC. Ryu won the fight, but then decided that he was too far behind and he tapped out. It was a bit weird, but he was honestly pretty dead. It's CuKu who won that first round. It was honestly one of these ultimate classic won the battle, lost the war scenarios. CuKu looking for some serious damage here with his Hellions, and CuKu will most of the time almost go for it. Very nice of Ryu to take out one of his own creep tumors there. I love taking a good fight and then GGing. Yeah. CuKu, guys. CuKu trying to see if there's an opening in the natural. No opening for now. So we played double Evo. I'm gonna go with Roaches. Actually, this should be enough DPS, right? I think if the Hellions and Reapers move a little bit to the bottom, they could go for it. One of the Queens gets knocked back. Man, Hatcheries gain HP so quick. Now the Zerglings come in as well. CuKu, is there a way out of here? Yes, there is. CuKu actually does a very good job. Look at how low on HP a lot of these Hellions are. I don't know if that's luck or skill or both. Lair is done. Roach Speed halfway done as well. Does CuKu know exactly what he's up against? He has seen everything, but... honestly, last game was a bit weird as well. Who won the first series? Upper 3 won it 3-2. It was very fun though. It was an excellent series. No. In the past, I've seen CuKu move out a few times against Roach players when he really did not have to. I have the feeling that CuKu, even though we tease him, does learn from his mistakes rather quickly. I generally believe that the kid is pretty talented in that regard. There's a lot of bullying happening in Team Roddy. Sometimes Reynor chips in as well. Calls all the kiddos dumb. But I think CuKu is pretty good in learning from mistakes. He should know that an attack here is inevitable. There is a tank. I would like that tank to be on the high ground actually. But CuKu is going to try to send that tank to the low ground too. Can we mass repair the hell out of that tank? The answer is no. We do have another tank coming up in the back though. I would have loved a bunker or two here. There is a bunker hidden in all of those supply depots. Tanks moving forward, couple of corrosive balls going down on the supply depots. Plus one armor wasn't quite done yet for the Marines. CuKu taking this fight with a lot of confidence. It seems like he was kind of right. Now he's chasing down some of these Ravages on the left. Careful. Well, it's a hold and he was not even totally ready for it. So I think that's very acceptable. The longer the game goes against roaches, most of the time the better it will be. Upgrades are a big problem here though for CuKu. That's actually a serious problem. CuKu's +2 attack, +2 armor just starting, while +2 attack and +2 armor are pretty much done for Ryu. Got a marine double drop in the bottom left side. If CuKu can just keep Ryu on 4 bases for a little while longer, there's obviously a lot to be hopeful of. Having a much harder time slowing down the creep. You know what, Ian Blue? I'll definitely take losing my first creep tumor. Seems like that doesn't really change anything. CuKu does have a bunch of marines YOLOing into the triangle base, but Ryu is all over that. CuKu is gonna pick them up though, drop into the main base, but Ryu left a few roaches and links behind in the main base as well to deal with this. Honestly, good play. CuKu is quick on getting on top of new bases though and gets a second cancel on a 5th base attempt for Ryu. Because Ryu does a good job there in saving his queen. Imagine if he didn't lose it. Creep would be right here, right? That's the power of that first creep tumor, guys. Would have been covering CuKu's main orbital as we speak. Ow. I just hit my leg on my desk. Injury. Hive tag is done. 10 minutes into the game. First Vipers on the way for Ryu. Last game there was a very heavy focus on Infestus. Very different army comp, obviously. This time around it seems that Ryu just wants to abduct a couple tanks or maybe land a blinding cloud and take the game from there. CuKu is trying to do whatever he can to just even things up a little bit, but economically he just kind of fell behind in this game. And Ryu with his first attack dealing a decent amount of damage. Been pretty much in the driver's seat ever since. Donating a few roaches now to make up some, make room for some lurker supply. Ryu had the problem of being maxed out. It's a terrible problem to have in StarCraft. 7 lurkers and vipers against a man who does not have a single ghost yet on the battlefield. Hello, Sly Talent. Honestly, I actually kind of prefer Big Brain Bouts over the weekly. As much as I love the weekly, and I think the weekly is kind of my baby. The problem with the weekly is just that there is a lot of downtime in between. The pauses are longer. It's often the same 8 players that make it into the quarterfinals, so it's a lot of repeats. I think best of 5s between players that are even to each other is better than a best of 3. So there's a lot of things that I prefer about Friday night, not just the no delay thing. Obviously, weeklies are very important for the scene, don't get me wrong. But I just like the fact that CuKu is trying to snipe the lurker then right before Seismic Spines, guys. What a snipe. What a snipe. That means that these lurkers won't have range for quite some time. You don't often see Marines denying that upgrade out of all upgrades. Ryu still wants to be aggressive here, but that's just probably a no. Oh. Ryu's gonna pull a Nurcho. Ryu is sick and tired of CuKu harassing him all over the place. Ryu a little bit slow to respond, losing this hatchery in the bottom right side. Guys, this is a drop, baby. This is a drop. 4 lurkers, 6 lurkers. Jeez Louise, how many lurkers is that? I'm looking at 10 plus lurkers, but I'd also be very careful because you don't want to lose 10 lurkers. That's pretty expensive. Ryu is very rich though. Does a good job in splitting them up. Couple of sweet spots there. Getting 8 SCVs rather quickly. CuKu will be able to get all of them. Liberators could just see job. That's exactly what's going to happen. CuKu just wants to clean this up ASAP. And he's putting a bit of a DeMusliM there. Ran out of scans for a split second. Jeez, lurker seem a nightmare. Meanwhile, command center is getting picked up in the center of the map. Look at the lurker spread here by Ryu in the main base of CuKu. I don't know if CuKu can hang in there much longer. He does have money and he does still have an army. Sniping Liebe here would be very useful. CuKu is really struggling cleaning these lurkers up. He's gonna have a good time though against all these roaches that try to run into the natural. Lurkers still do not have seismic spines. Imagine if they did. CuKu, how are we gonna go down that ramp? Ryu says, get over here! Gets a tank. Even though CuKu has a good army and money in the bank, it feels that he's very dead. Honestly, feels like he's very dead. A tank pops and the tank's gonna get picked off immediately. He's getting contained into his own natural. Tanks maybe scanned right now would be sweet, but blinding clouds will go down. Excuse me, abduct will go down in the end. Seismic Spines is done now. CuKu steams down the ramp into the meat grinder. Gets a couple, but it really does not matter. Too much money in the bank, couldn't spend it anymore after the lurkers went to town on his infrastructure. And after 2 games, we are all tied up. A bad moment indeed, Reynor. So a very strong second game by Ryu. I think that first roach attack was a little more successful than I gave it kudos for. CuKu technically had a sweet start with the Reaper in this game, but after that it was all Ryu. Just felt that he was in control, had roaches in the right position, struggled a little bit getting up a 5th, but didn't really seem to bother him. And the upgrade advantage was massive. Like the 2-2 for the roaches and ravages was pretty much done when CuKu's 2-2 was 15 or 20% on the way. Gonna have to check Ryu for cheats. He won after losing a drone in the opener. Yeah, according to the Zerg Cabal, that is not a thing. You lose your first drone against an evenly skilled opponent and the game is over, but... about that, Biotrash. I think Ryu has been over 6,000 MMR in the past, just like CuKu. But, you know, they bounce all over the place. Anything between 5,700 and 6,200 is pretty possible for these kids. Reynor says Ryu is 45. In what? Yeah, no, Ryu played excellent the previous game. Honestly felt like a very strong showing from the very beginning to the very end. Ryu is not 45. I do know he's a bit older. He's been around for a while. He's not 45. CuKu, guys, has no fear of altitude.
Round 3. Fight!
Top right side of altitude, we are looking at the main base of our Peruvian Italian Zerg with a strong game 2 on dragon skills. It is the cranky ducklings, Ryu. Woohoo! In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of the face of Romanian StarCraft 2 from here on out, representing Team Red Pack. It is CuKu. CuKu has something up his sleeve. What is it gonna be, CuKu? So far, it's normal. Night End was actually in the channel the other day. I do still like Night End. And whenever I meet him at offline events, it's always fun to have a little chitty chat with him. But Night End online is absolutely unbearable. Like, because he loses fun in something, everybody else should also not enjoy that thing anymore. Because in his eyes, it's not fun. And then he tries to force his opinion on things not being fun upon other people. And it triggers me to know tomorrow. It's like, mate, just move on. Like, you don't like it, that's fine. But just because you don't like it, that doesn't mean that other people don't like it anymore. Huh? Hello, Dave. When we modding CuKu again? If he wins this series, I'll think about it. You made him mad. I don't believe that. I think it's pretty hard to make CuKu mad. CuKu plays things up. I don't think the kid gets angry very quickly. Maybe at Reynor. But Reynor just brings out the worst in people, you know. It's a skill that he has. I'm actually not sure which French guy you're talking about, Reynor. Give me a hint. If you give me a hint, I'm sure I'll figure it out. Because I feel like we spoke about it once. But... oh! Yeah, but Nighten is way worse in that regard, mate. I mean, that's not a hint, mate. That's literally telling who it is. You're the worst, mate. That's not a hint. You could have just written out his name at that point. No, I think Todd is okay in that regard. I know it's Todd. Everyone knows it's Todd, mate. Even the Hearthstone community knows you were talking about Todd at that point. Give me a hint. Jeez Louise. What's the beverage of choice today? I've had a bit of everything, mate. I've had a San Pellegrino, I've had a cup of coffees, I had water, and now I am enjoying a Viper. You know, in the spirit of not having one, not two, but 3 Zergs tonight, I am drinking a Viper. What's the best selling? The red one, 100%. I think it's red, yellow, green in that order. Thank you to Ravinus for the 11 months and Dave obviously for the 500 biddies. I really appreciate it, guys. This is turning into a pretty long Big Brain Bouts. It's now 8 p.m. and we're all tied up between Ryu and CuKu. And we are loading into altitude. We're honestly not doing anything too weird. Oh well, we loaded into altitude a while ago. We are now macroing on altitude. What is blood orange? Which color is that? I don't know the names of the drinks, guys. I just know red, yellow, and green. It's red, yeah. Red is my favorite. We have a double Evo chamber. How is our boy Alcaraz doing, by the way, Lino? Did he win already? I saw he was up 2-0 over Medvedev. Do we have an Alcaraz final? Alcaraz is my new GOAT. I love that kid. I love Djokovic as well, but I'm an Alcaraz believer for this Wimbledon. Yes, GG? Sick. Alright, so you guys were wondering, why did CuKu not veto altitude? Well, it seems that we want to bring out a classic. Nathanius loves this build, by the way. You got plans on Sunday? I do. I am casting literally the coolest WTL match of the season. On-site gaming versus Basilisk at 4 p.m. And after that, we've got the Platinum Heroes Eagles open. So I'll be busy, but I can always watch it back. Doesn't have to be live. So we've got 8 aliens that are going to morph into Hellbats. 3 Marauders with concussive shells and a medevac making their way to the other side of the map. Right now, Ryu is expecting something. But he's not really building that many units yet. He's really waiting for the Roach War and does not believe in making anything else. That Spine Crawler is going to come in very handy. But obviously we can fight literally anywhere else. CuKu, you don't want to take that many shots on your Viking, mate. Kind of a weird way to start this attack. That Spine is actually going to finish up at a perfect spot right when all the Hellions morph into Hellbats. Ryu's got 5 Roaches in production. CuKu is not quite sure what he wants to go for. Keep an eye on the medevac here, guys. The medevac is the most important unit in this push for CuKu. As long as the medevac is alive, the push is alive. Gets a queen, that is a start, but now we need to start killing some real stuff, CuKu. Alright, Ryu feels that this is the moment to go for it. Medevac still going strong. The Viking is taking a lot of hits, and the Viking will not quite fall, will sort of fall. Single Hellbat has gone down, and that Viking. CuKu pick it up then. CuKu does not pick it up. I cannot believe that medevac is still just doing its thing. Finally, Ryu is targeting the medevac, and the medevac is taking a lot of hits right now from these 2 queens, and it lives for a little while longer. I mean, Ryu will clean this up, obviously, in the end, because we're in the middle of 3 bases. We got reinforcements for days. I don't know. I actually don't know. A lot of queens died. 6 queens died. Like, that part is obviously very good. But Ryu still has a 9-worker lead. There's a bunch of roaches out. The safety spine. 1-1 upgrades. Going up to 4 bases. Is that a success? I don't know if it's a success. I think the 6 queens make it acceptable for CuKu. I don't know if it's like yippee-yi-yo, great. I think it's alright. It's alright. It's playable, but I don't think CuKu is in love with it. Would have been amazing if he was able to just split off like 2 Hellions that were coming in as reinforcements. If those Hellions were just able to just shoot at drones or something, it would have been fantastic. Also, I think a tiny bit of medevac micro would have been cool with that low HP Viking, right? Pick it up, drop it in the back, keep it alive a bit longer. Because that Viking is a real damage dealer on the ground. Yeah. The upgrades were once more in favor of Ryu, but I think Ryu is just trying to recover from the damage he took. That's why his upgrades were a bit later. Actually fires up melee now. Not sure what that's all about. I guess we want to play some Ling Roach Ravager Bane again. I like that spine. CuKu, since you guys were talking about Todd, that's a real Todd move. Building farms around the map. In Warcraft 3, your supply depot for humans is called a farm. And farms are very tanky. So you can literally just build a farm in the main base of your opponent in the beginning of the game. Because if they would spend time killing it, they lose so much time that you can just completely out-creep them. I don't see too often in StarCraft 2 because buildings die a little bit quicker here. But I'm not totally sure where this game is going. I'm not sure if Ryu is gearing up for a big attack or if he just wants to go hive and slowly but steady make his way into disruptors again. CuKu seems a bit terrified about moving out too early and getting gobbled up by the Zerg on altitude. That's gonna be very fun, Lino. I'm actually excited for it. What time does it start? We have one tank. Second tank is on the way for CuKu as he has a tiny drop in the main base. Liberator sieging up. Might be a moment. CuKu needs to stop doing that, by the way. Not the first time in the series that Ravagers with corrosive balls get a double or a triple kill on Lips. It's a bit of a shame, but it seems like Ryu made a bit of a misclick because I have no idea how all of these Ravagers are trying to hug the Marines and the Marauders. So that started off bad for CuKu, but actually kind of turned it into something. 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is rough. Okay, ugly engagement there by Ryu as he donates a bunch of lings. A lot of the roaches trying to morph into Ravagers here. CuKu's all over it. Army is very low on HP though. CuKu thinks he's Clem. CuKu thinks he's Clem, but there is only one Clem. He didn't have the medevac count for that, CuKu. Did not have the HP count on your Marines for that, and you did not have the medevac count. Ryu is indeed a Street Fighter character. And so is Ken. And Gale, and Mr. Bison, and Honda. And the Hulk. Or Blanca. Whatever his name is. A couple of corrosive balls do take out the tank there on the high ground. Feels to me that CuKu here is in some serious trouble. This bunker is pretty much the last line of defense at the third, and that bunker is going to fall. Take out the sensor tower then, mate. The last thing you do is always take out the sensor tower before you retreat. According to Funka, sensor towers are very expensive. Very, very expensive, guys. Funka is the only StarCraft 2 player that I've met in 13 years that complains about the cost of sensor towers. It's ridiculous. Thank you, Makia. And you are spot on, mate. Twitch Prime is absolutely not a crime. So Ryu take out the sensor tower this time around. He's focused on the army. Wants to get SCVs and tanks at the same time. The aiming connections there actually pretty good. Deep into the defensive line of CuKu. I'm afraid that CuKu is not just in a bit of trouble, but that he's borderline dead here. There is a chance that this game will end real soon. CuKu's army is just low on HP. It's not quite in the correct position. Lost the sensor tower. It's not going to lose a handful of depots potentially. It's a lot of Marauders stimming. The tanks do get some good shots up there on the roaches, but not a great job by Ryu. Just getting the Ravagers in range, landing a couple of corrosive balls and getting out of range. Big fan of the sharking burrowed infester. Throws on a scan, and that party has been revealed. Going up a ramp here though by Ryu, I want to say is a little bit ambitious, but really believes in the power of the infestors in the back line, trying to land a couple nice fungals. Maybe a fungal on the SCVs then, no? Okay. I mean, CuKu actually trading kind of well now. Still feels that the doors are wide open. We land a fungal, not the best one, but the corrosive balls do connect with medevacs once more. Somehow they live, they don't die. I think Ryu is going to be completely fine. CuKu just has no map vision at the moment. No map vision, no map presence, and that's not always a problem. If you've got a healthy army, if your bases feel fortified, We've got sensor towers, liberators, a bunch of ghosts on the way, money in the bank. And that's not a problem, but if you're at 167 supply and you're nowhere near the ultimate Terran army, then it is a problem. Good luck, Letho. Give Kevin a kiss from me. I can't believe you're selling, Kevin. I saw that and I'm hurt. Our man Letho had 7 Beagle puppies, guys. He named one after me and now he's selling it. They always leave. Wings and Banes crashing into Marines, Marauders and Tanks once more, this time around complemented by Ultras. They do have Kindness Plating. We land another Fungo as well. The Fungus have honestly been pretty sweet. CuKu loses 20 SCVs. Does have a few units returning that he sent out as a drop. CuKu flings it up. Actually a pretty sick hold by CuKu, all things considered. Losing 20 SCVs, but saves the orbital. Look at a couple of the expensive units. CuKu, our eager beaver, definitely had enough of sitting back. Just desperately wants to make something happen on the other side of the map. This feels that every single time he picks up units, he's going to have even less at home. Still doing alright. Has a chance, guys. CuKu has a chance. If we can maybe repair our medevacs, get some energy on it, heal up our army, put tanks in a good spot, and wait for Ryu to make a very bad fight off creep into liberators and tanks, there is hope. CuKu feels that this is the moment he can maybe get a hatchery, and the hatchery is very low on HP, but it's not going to fall. At least not yet. Queen drops transfuse. There are a couple spore crawlers. Ryu now obviously knows that there is a few units missing here in the defense of CuKu, so Ryu is going to try to end it again. Honestly, this Terran army looks very big right now, as Liberator is going to siege up too. I don't know about this one, Ryu. Honestly, I think Ryu is going to walk into a little bit of a meat grinder here at first. The tanks did fall. Ultras are good. I mean, I think in the end CuKu will hold once more, but it's going to cost him an arm and a leg as the Ultras burrowed, and let's see, they get picked off too. Few Zerglings were the most successful thing about that attack, killing 8 SCVs. CuKu wondering if he could take that 5th base. It just feels that our boy CuKu is a little too broke here to keep this up. He's trading well. We can see that Ryu has lost 1700 resources more, but Ryu has mined 2400 resources more in the last 60 seconds alone, so yeah, that's good. I like how we have 6 queens and 5 of them are in the front line. Ryu, my goat, does not believe in any injects. Injects are overrated, guys, if you just have a whole bunch of hatcheries. CuKu is indeed fighting like a lion. I've never really seen CuKu as a lion. He's more like a tiny pussycat. Meow. The Liberator seizes up above the 2 spore crawlers and it does get picked off. Yeah, the Marauder count is incredibly high. But this feels like an unfair fight. I think Ryu's too rich. Few Ultras getting a very good fight here against tanks. If your Ultras can get right on top of tanks, you love it. A fungal! We are looking for Steph Curry, the infestor. We don't find him. What we do see is that Ryu takes the 2-1 lead in our second match of the evening. It's played well. Played solid. CuKu went for the Hellbat Marauder attack. And he got the queens, but just didn't get any drones. If he would have just been able to get like 5-6 drones with his attack, then we would be like, you know what, that's pretty good. But he got something there. I just felt that CuKu lost all the momentum after that attack was cleaned up and could honestly only defend for the next 10 minutes. Yeah. Like the haircut, Roddy? Thank you, mate. It's summer. Wearing white shirts, getting haircuts, getting a tan. What a life. The life of a StarCraft streamer. CuKu says that he needs 3 minutes. It's obviously been a pretty intense series. Ryu says he needs the same. So Eggs and our man Arrowfire are going to have to wait a little bit longer. If they take a break, guys, I'm going to take a tiny break as well. Grab myself a drink. I'll see you guys soon for Game 4 between CuKu and Ryu. StarCraft 3. I'll be honest, guys, I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. But the thing is, even if that would be true, which I really don't think it is, but let's say it is true. How long is it gonna take? 4 years? 5 years? Like, and yeah, honestly, if it's an Activision product, it's probably a pay-to-win mobile only. Or perhaps, if you pay $20 extra, you can also play StarCraft 3 on your iPad. I wouldn't get too excited, guys. I would not get too excited. Get excited over Stormgate. Stormgate is gonna be awesome. I hope. I think. I know. One of those. But StarCraft 3 is very, very far away from our bet show. Thank you to I'm Not Your Body Pal for the half a century. Beautiful, mate. If you pay 20 bucks extra, your Marines don't lose HP. If you pay 30 bucks extra, your Marines shoot golden bullets, baby. One shot, one kill. And that's an RTS. Our nerds are back. We are already 17 minutes behind schedule. Now, that's obviously not too bad. RCuKu, Game 4, Near Humanity. Uh-oh. We are now 47 minutes behind schedule. It is match points for Ryu, second series of the night, Big Brain Bouts number 33. Winner of this series will walk away with 80 bucks. The loser will still get 20. Ryu 2, CuKu 1, round 4.
Round 4. Fight!
Top left side of a Neo-Humanity. We are looking at the main base of our Peruvian, Italian, Zerg representing the Cranky Ducklings. It's Ryu. First time ever, I believe, guys, that he's playing on the Friday night. In the bottom right side, one of the more familiar faces to the Friday night. I've done whatever I could to make sure that this kid picks up a little bit of pocket money, but he's having a tough time. I do often give them very tough opponents, but that's what it's all about. Joining a new org called a Red Pack. This is CuKu. Hello, Gwel. Definitely a little bit sad, guys, that now Basilisk against Onsite is right in the middle of the finals of Wimbledon. In my entire life, I have not cared about tennis, but I really want to see this final, actually. But obviously, I really want to see Reynor against Ryong as well. Not too interested in Trigger against Maru, because I know Trigger has that one in the bag. Solar against Serral could be fun as well. CVC. That's all happening on Sunday, guys. 4 p.m. 4 p.m. European time, that is. Obviously, I'll be live, so put a reminder for yourself. 10 a.m. on the East Coast, 7 a.m. on the West Coast, 4 p.m. Central European summertime. Basilisk against Onsite. Number 1 versus number 2. It's the Wimbledon final, also CVC. I heard it's a TVT, mate. Unbelievable, these guys. It's just like StarCraft, honestly. Every final is TVT. We obviously have 2 more series after this. Next up, it's Fire, who's going to try his luck in for the second time in the Big Brain Bouts. He turned 16 a couple months ago, and he's going to take on Eggs, who's also having his second appearance. Nothing like a Zerg that's requesting a 3-minute pause. Or maybe it was CuKu actually requested a pause, but CuKu did a 3-minute pause, and then Ryu's like, you know what, I need the same. And then suddenly, we are dropping a Roach Warren 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Can CuKu figure this one out? I more feel like that Djokovic is the Ultralisk, and that Alcaraz is a 3-3 upgraded Zergling with adrenal glands. I think that's the best way to describe our Wimbledon final. We've got a third CC going down, guys. I feel like CuKu is not quite picking up on this yet. Alright. I am at this point, I'm at the concerned status. If I was a Facebook profile right now, I would say my thoughts about this feeling are complicated. However, if this Reaper goes home and doesn't pick up on what's happening real soon,
Command center upgrade.
Turning it into single, baby. I'm kind of worried. I'm very worried, actually. The good news is for CuKu that Ryu is droning up behind this. The bad news is that this attack is still happening. My boy is not going to be happy if he... Oh my goodness, and he's going to move out, guys, through the center of the map. So the first Reaper and 2 Hellions are going to be terribly out of position too. I believe a wise man once upon a time said, it's a disaster. The funny thing is that this could kill a lot of drones. This right here is the very first time that CuKu is going to pick up on the fact that this is happening. 2 Hellions pop. They kind of revealed Corrosive Bout will connect with a couple of the SCVs. At this point it's bad, but it's not game-ending bad yet. However, I'm afraid it will be game-ending bad in the near future. CuKu has nothing until this Banshee comes out that's good against roaches and ravages. Excellent placement on the Corrosive Bouts. Uh-oh. Poor CuKu. Representing his new orc tonight, had an excellent first game. He felt more on point than I've seen him in a very long time. After that, unfortunately, it went a little downhill. And here in game 4, we are in all sorts of trouble as the SCVs are trying to repair the depot. The Banshee is finally out, guys. This Banshee right here is the first unit that is very good for CuKu. CuKu is already down 15 SCVs, and he might lose a few more. I don't think the roaches could have done a tiny bit better here towards the end. So much lost mining time. It's 17 SCVs going down. Banshee obviously still forced to be at home. A couple of SCVs are very low on HP, so even this last roach gets a kill, gets another kill. Excellent target firing there by Ryu. He's paying attention. 25 worker advantage, guys. All that Ryu really needs to do at this point is just build some queens. You can get a spore, and at that point the world is your oyster. You can close it out in any way, shape or form. Goblin says Kaki wins these. Down 20 SCVs. We have triple orbital. That's good, but it's not like we have the 2 eBays already, and at least we've got we got Stim Bio, you know. I'll take being 25 workers down, but having 1 Marines with combat shield, 2 medevacs, and Stim. So we've got nothing. I hope you're right, but it feels kind of impossible. I think CuKu also knows that he's in all sorts of trouble, so maybe he's just going to build tanks very early. Is there a world where he plays mech? Probably not, right? Just start building tanks and get Stim and pray. CuKu hasn't seen anything on the other side of the map in forever. He was very worried about Coco's very famous second wave, the follow-up attack that never really came. When I said it, Goblin, I kind of thought the same. I was like, does CuKu actually ever play mech? Has CuKu ever played a game of mech? Feels like the kid just swore to the Bible a long time ago. Put his hand on it, and he solemnly swore to never play a game without Stim. He's honestly sticking with that oath. Not exactly sure what to make of these games. Obviously, CuKu down 21 workers. Doesn't really have anything that's great. The only thing that you can hope for, if you're CuKu here, is just, you're playing the long game. I'm going to turtle up. I'm going to defend. And I hope that my opponent allows me to have a way back into this game. When they make an attack of a mediocre economy, that's kind of committed. And then they don't get the job done. But if Ryu just goes up to like 85, 90 drones, and that's honestly what this is starting to look like. Ryu can take bad fight after bad fight after bad fight, and he's still going to be okay. It's sad, it feels unfair, but I don't think there is really a whole lot that our boy from Romania can do here. We got an infestation pit going down already on the side of our Peruvian Italian Zergi. This has a good showing here. We know that he's a good player. He's been a solid European player for a while. We don't get to see a lot from him in like the weeklies and stuff, or like he doesn't quite have the level for Wardy tournaments. He's a little bit below the level you need to qualify for some of the Wardy tourneys. He doesn't really seem to care about qualifiers, doesn't really play in the weeklies. But Ryu has just been solid for a long time. And most people in the European scene and the Latin American scene absolutely know that. Hello, Reynor. I believe that you also know that that is not allowed. Double Banshee maxed out on energy. How often do you see that, by the way? Banshee's maxed out on energy. I mean, they don't have cloak, so I guess it doesn't really matter. It's hard to spend your energy if you don't have cloak. It's just a handicap at that point for Banshees, actually. Ryu has a lot of Lings here, a couple Banelings in the mix as well. CuKu picks up these units very quickly. Lings are going to try to get on top of tanks. First tank goes down. Can Banelings connect with SCVs? There is 1, 2, 3 Banelings left over. Whoa, there is actually an escape path for the SCVs there. I honestly thought they would be stuck. All the tanks did go down, and that just makes things go from bad to worse for our boy. This requires an MVP versus Staffel-like performance. A lot of people consider that to be the biggest throw in the history of StarCraft 2. Honestly, I kind of forgot the details. I know it looked very bad for MVP. I honestly think we've seen bigger throws ever since. But that's just kind of the one that people always go with. CuKu with a painful misclick there, guys. Move commanding his units towards the top right while they needed to run towards the bottom left. I think acceptance is starting to kick in here for CuKu that tonight does not belong to him. GG gets called. It's Ryu, our Peruvian Italian Zergy, taking the 3-1 W in our second series of the night. Played well. CuKu had a great first game. That was honestly one of the best games that I've seen our little CuKu play in a while. Felt like he was on point. He was sharp. He was sniping Banes left and right, but it's hard to play that level every single game. Ryu switched things up. Found a lot of success with the roaches. That's kind of it. Isn't Ryu Peruvian? No, I said Peruvian Zerg because I enjoy lying, Dante. Every now and then I like making stuff up, so... yeah, we said Peruvian. Because I felt like making something up on the fly. GG gets called. We are now getting ready for our third series of the night, and that is going to be a PVZ, co-main event of the evening between two excellent youngsters as well, I would say. 65% of you guys believe that Ryu was going to win it. It says Peru here again. That's so weird, by the way. Peru wins. Next up, it's X versus Arrowfire. X, Colombian Zergy. Arrowfire, French P. I'll give you guys 15 minutes to get your prediction in. Best of 5, PPV number 33. Co-main. Co-main means it's $100 for the winner, $25 for the loser. We're getting 10 more subbies as well since we wrapped up another best of 5. Thank you so much to BASILISK. I think it's been a very fun evening so far. I like the TVCs, but sometimes the late game TVC, it can suck the life out of you a little bit. Very excited for our next one. I know Arrowfire played one time and lost to Mixu. Now, I've got a mission for you guys. And that is, somewhere, X played. X played one series, and I think X played against BASILISK. But for the life of me, I don't know when he played. I guess you can look it up in Aligalak, right? I believe it was BASILISK against X, and I think BASILISK won 3-1. But it's a little while ago. Should be a fun series. I'll take a little break. After that, I'll be right back. Co-main event coming up.